Section 28 of Poems of American History of the Colonial Era. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recorded by Chris Pyle. Poems of American History of the Colonial Era, Chapter 7, King Philip's War and the Witchcraft Delusion, Part 3. The Indians conquered. The people of Massachusetts set themselves resolutely to fight the devil. They were firm believers in the actual presence of the powers of darkness, and almost from the beginning of the colony there had been prosecutions for witchcraft. But it was not until 1692 that the great outbreak of superstition, vindictiveness, and fear occurred, which forms the darkest blot on New England's history. Prologue. From Giles Corey of the Salem Farms. Delusions of the days that once have been, witchcraft and wonders of the world unseen, phantoms of air and necromantic arts that crushed the weak and awed the stoutest hearts. These are our theme tonight, and vaguely here, through the dim mists that crowd the atmosphere, we draw the outlines of weird figures cast in shadow on the background of the past. Who would believe that in the quiet town of Salem, and amid the woods that crown the neighboring hillsides, and the sunny farms that fold it safe in their paternal arms, who would believe that in those peaceful streets where the great elms shut out the summer heats, where quiet reigns and breathes through brain and breast the benediction of unbroken rest, who would believe such deeds could find a place as these whose tragic history we retrace? 'Twas but a village then. The goodman plowed his ample acres under sun or cloud. The goodwife at her doorstep sat and spun and gossiped with her neighbors in the sun. The only men of dignity and state were then the minister and the magistrate, who ruled their little realm with iron rod, less in the love than in the fear of God, and who believed devoutly in the powers of darkness working in this world of ours, in spells of witchcraft, incantations dread, and shrouded apparitions of the dead. Upon this simple folk, with fire and flame, saith the old chronicle, the devil came, scattering his firebrands and his poisonous darts, to set on fire of hell all tongues and hearts. And 'tis no wonder, for with all his host there most he rages where he hateth most and is most hated. So on us he brings all these stupendous and portentous things. Something of this our scene tonight will show, and ye who listen to the tale of woe, be not too swift in casting the first stone, nor think New England bears the guilt alone. This sudden burst of wickedness and crime was but the common madness of the time, when in all lands that lie within the sound of Sabbath bells, a witch was burned or drowned. Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. The outbreak occurred in that part of Salem then called Salem Village, now the separate town of Danvers, and was brought about by 3 or 4 children who pretended to be bewitched and who cried out against various persons. They were countenanced, not to say encouraged, by Samuel Parris, the minister of the place, and there is evidence to show that he used them to gratify his private enmities. Salem, A.D. 1692. So, Mistress Anne, fair neighbor mine, how rides a witch when night winds blow? Folks say that you are none too good to join the crew in Salem wood. When one you wot of gives the sign, right well, methinks, the path you know. In meeting time I watched you well, whiles godly Master Parris prayed, your folded hands lay on your book. But Richard answered to a look that fain would tempt him unto hell, where, Mistress Anne, your place is made. You look into my Richard's eyes, with evil glances shameless grown. I found about his wrist a hair, and guess what fingers tied it there. He shall not lightly be your prize. Your master first shall take his own. 'Tis not in nature he should be, who loved me so when spring was green, a child to hang upon your gown. He loved me well in Salem town, until this wanton witchery his heart and mine crept dark between. Last Sabbath night, the gossips say, your goodman missed you from his side. He had no strength to move until, again, as if in slumber still, beside him at the dawn you lay. Tell, now, what meanwhile did betide. Dame Anne, my hate go with you fleet, as drifts the bay fog overhead, or over yonder hilltop, where there is a tree ripe fruit shall bear, when, neighbor mine, your wicked feet the stones of Gallows Hill shall tread. Edmund Clarence Stedman. End of section 28.